are opponents, however, to the so-called global media groups. These opponents say that with more and more global media groups, the diversity of choices is being compromised, and also local producers, local market is taking a hit. What do you say to them?
Well, first, I'll probably try to take the drama out of global media companies. I mean, global media companies are very diverse. I mean, the company I have the honor of belonging to is a company that was founded in Australia and then sort of went to London, to the UK, then it went to the United States. I myself, I'm a South American. I'm part of the senior team of the company. So I think a lot is said, sort of just, it's a very scary term, the global conglomerate. But in reality, these are companies that are actually a lot more diverse, or at least I can speak on behalf of the company I'm a part of.
But they do tend to be more commercial. They do tend to be after profit making, and
yes.
I think that's what people are worried about.
And again, I think there's in the media space there's room for everything and everybody. I mean, in a lot of markets where we are present, we're a complement to the public broadcasting system that has its set of goals and its way of functioning. You know, obviously, we are a company that, as in any business, needs profits to continue working. But I don't think that in any place in the world, any of these companies really has replaced or has such a cloud on the market that there's no representation of voices. Mm-hmm. So I think that these companies, as they advance in around the world, they do become local companies as well. I mean, and when we're going into markets, we partner and we set up local offices, and I have to say that this is not a centralized order. So I don't think there should be a reason of concern as to is this going to replace the local business or not, because there are certain things that local media companies mm-hmm. will always going to be able to do better, faster, and cheaper.
As a content producer, I'd like to know what you think about the Korean cultural content that you have seen so far, films or TV dramas.
Well, clearly, I mean, I would have loved to be able to understand the local language mm-hmm. to get the sense of it, but it's clear that the narrative style and the performances have been successful not just in Korea but also in the greater Southeast Asia, where the exports of Korean drama and movies has been very significant. Right. Even in the United States, there's been for quite a significant time keen interest in Korean movie making and filmmaking because they've done so well. I think that in the future there's a lot more room for Korean content to become broader in order to entice interest from Western markets, and I think there's plenty of room for that. Mm-hmm. And it will take some time, and it will take some, as we were discussing before, some partnerships or co-production activities with Western companies like ours to pave the way for that. But clearly the narrative style and the production quality of the drama and the films is something that should not stop in Korea or in Asia. I mean, there should continue. Mm-hmm. It should continue to advance and be introduced to markets that haven't had a chance to see them.
Since industry competitiveness is often measured by how global they are, for those Korean media companies that are looking to go global, that are looking to ride on this media convergence bandwagon, what sort of advice could you give?
I would say that not to be shy. Sometimes companies are afraid to approach the U.S. market or Western European market because they think it's too sophisticated or too complicated or too competitive. And reality is, mm-hmm. everybody's looking for the next original idea. Yeah. And it doesn't matter where the idea comes from. So I think everyone in the creative community around the world needs to be very bold, needs to be very creative, and also ambitious. And because even as big markets like the US or the UK or Western Europe, everybody's still looking for the next idea. And the likelihood that the next big idea is going to come from a place that's not
in the
traditional
right?
is very high. So I would encourage anyone that has a good idea to really be bold, take a plane and travel the world, because I'm sure that he or she is going to find that there are a lot of receptive ears waiting to hear what's next.
As a leader of a CEO, how do you encourage creativity in your employees?
Well, we have for a U.S.-based studio, we have a very creative and diverse pool of people. We have people from each one of the 5 continents. We're constantly traveling the world. We're constantly going to attending conferences or meeting people in foreign markets and always looking for ideas. And we encourage that from the assistants all the way up to the senior executives. We definitely aspire to be a global studio, and which happens to be based in Hollywood, but we don't take the traditional view that we have to do what we've been doing for decades. I mean, I think it's an era where the big risks and the big and bold risks could definitely be rewarded at a global scale, and I think we're after that.
I like that. Globalization from the bottom up, not from the top down.
Yes.
Right. Thank you very much for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay here in Korea, and I hope you'll come back.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to more and longer trips to Korea.
So today we talked about media convergence with the head of Fox Television Studios in America, Mr. Emiliano Calemzuk. You can rewatch this episode of Heart to Heart by coming to our homepage where we have the VOD service available. That's it for me for today. I hope to see you again next time. Thank you.